With this aureus recently selling for the fortune of £2.7 million, a curious reality of ancient coin collecting, and on that matter, the collecting of any antique or antiquity, comes to the light. How much an ancient coin should cost is something hard to predict. However, somehow, certain price trends for certain coins tend to naturally arise, even if not everyone truly understands how. I mean, let's think about it for a moment. If you put a denarius on the hands of someone that has never handled an ancient coin and ask them, how much is this worth? It is very likely their answers will be completely different to this denarius's actual market value. This is what we're going to explore today. What determines the price of an ancient coin? How does that affect you, coin collector? And what can you do with this knowledge to help your collector journey? Let's go! Hello once again. I'm going to assume you already know how to look for the price of an ancient coin. And if you don't know, I strongly recommend you head over my page and check the videos on how to shop online and the series on affordable Roman and Greek coins. That's going to give you a good base on how to navigate the market and know the current prices. I'll leave the links in the description down below. What we'll be discussing today is actually how the prices you find these are determined, and how can you use that information to your advantage. More modern pieces, like US coins, have very well recorded mintage numbers, a consistent production quality apart from errors, and a given popularity per piece. So the old triad of supply, demand, and condition is a pretty good ruler to measure the price of a coin, particularly considering the US is a very mature market. So unless we're talking about some very unique error or a desirable rarity, the prices you should be paying for a coin are pretty well defined. Now, once we get to ancients, even if these are still coins, the reason why people collect them are quite different. So the forces that move the ancient markets are different. Collecting ancients is a combination of a personal historical journey and collecting ancient art in miniature. So every collector gives historical significance and artistic merit consideration when looking for a coin. As a result, the price of ancient coins is determined by 4 factors: historical significance, artistic appeal, condition, and scarcity. We'll cover these 4 in detail and how to apply them on planning your collection. Historical significance is, as the name suggests, how much a coin is connected to a popular historical context, and how many people think their historical journey through their collection should include one of these coins, and how recognizable are the people or things featured on the coin. Basically, who cares about this coin? Let me illustrate. This is a coin of Trebonianus Gallus. Unless you know quite a lot about Roman history, you probably have no idea who this man was. Now, if you compare it to the aforementioned coin of the Ides of March, absolutely everyone with a minimum knowledge of Roman history knows about the Ides of March. Therefore, its historical significance value is extremely high. Next, we move to artistic appeal. Ancient coins were hand-struck from dies carved by hand on hand-poured flans. So, the skill of the artisans involved centuries ago in the making of this coin highly influences what a coin looks like. Similar denominations could have different diameters, discrepancies in flange shape, and a huge difference on artistic quality. Let's take a look at the silver tetradrachm of King Lysimachus, one of Alexander the Great's generals. This is a pretty good looking coin, one of my favorites. And one could say it was made by a very competent die engraver. Until you look at another example, and then you realize this coin is actually a very pedestrian style. This is the most subjective of all 4 factors. A certain coin can have incredible appeal to someone while being unremarkable to another one. Next, we go to condition, and this is self-explanatory. A coin on a higher grade of conservation is always going to command a premium over a similar example of lesser grade. And finally we get to scarcity. And it may sound straightforward, but it is actually tied to historical factors that affected mintage numbers and random hoard discoveries. For example, let's say once again you want to collect coins of all Roman emperors. Well, some emperors like Gordian I and Gordian II only reigned for mere weeks. This means their coins are unbelievably rare, so if you absolutely need to have every emperor, be ready to spend a ton of money on these two. On the other hand, Emperor Gordian III reigned for 6 years and for some reason minted an absurd amount of coins, so the market is flooded by them. Compelled by the fact he's not a very popular emperor, his pieces are affordable and really good looking for the price. The best way to put all of these factors in perspective is to actually bring a set of coins and exemplify. So I'm gonna do just that. Here we have 5 coins of 5 emperors that reigned back to back over the golden age of the Roman Empire. These are the so-called 5 good emperors: Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, and Marcus Aurelius. They ruled over a period of great prosperity, so the mint was always active, all of the style in their coinage is of similar quality, and the silver is also of similar quality. Yet, they tend to have very different values. Let's assume a denarius of each emperor of similar rarity and quality. The final prices should be something like this. Okay, Nerva seems to be oddly expensive, Antoninus Pius a bit cheaper, and Marcus Aurelius somewhat more expensive. And why would that be? I mean, collecting the 5 good emperors is a popular theme on Roman collectors, so why the discrepancy? Let's start by Nerva. He was elevated to the position of Augustus at his old age, and only reigned for less than a year and a half. Even if Rome was at great economic times under its reign and lots of coins were minted per year, there simply wasn't enough time for many coins of Nerva to be minted. And if you want to complete all 5 good emperors, you've got to have a Nerva, so it's going to be the most expensive of the bunch, even if he's not the most popular. Next, let's go over why Antoninus Pius tends to be more affordable. Well, the man simply didn't do much. He stayed in Italy, ruled Rome over 23 years of peace and prosperity, and the result? Tons and tons of his coins are around. Most of them depict very benign allegories, and some people just think of him as boring. So his coin falters in historical significance and doesn't suffer from scarcity. Therefore, they are more affordable. And finally, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, featured on Gladiator, very famous. His coins are very sought after and aren't worth a fortune just because his long reign of 19 years gave enough time for his coinage to be numerous, but they are still above the average price. And we don't even need to look at different emperors to find pricing differences. Let's look at this coin of Constantine the Great. Constantine minted coins all over the empire, and his coins are amongst some of the most affordable out there. Here's an example minted in Siskia, modern-day Croatia. This coin has cost me a grand total of 5 euros. But if I wanted a coin of him minted in London, all of a sudden I am competing with a lot of people at the English numismatic market that consider his coins very desirable, and as a result, we're talking about a 4 times price increase. Why? Historical significance is greatly increased. Okay, that is all well and good, but how can you, collector, use this information to your advantage? We all have some goals when collecting. You might want to collect only very pretty coins, or maybe you want to collect coins of a certain theme and would like to know what sort of investment you should expect to make. But most importantly, this knowledge protects you from frustrations down the line when building your collection. There's nothing worse than the feeling you're stuck and your collection simply can't grow because a couple of key pieces are just out of your reach. Since I've used this example so much in this video, let's imagine you want to collect all Roman emperors. This is a very hard task to accomplish, particularly if you don't have very deep pockets. And without very deep pockets, you simply won't be able to, for example, collect all emperors in silver. But I don't want to collect something else, I want to collect Roman emperors. That's what brings me joy. So, should I just give up on ancient coins? Of course not. How about if I also allow bronze coins in my collection? A tribute penny of Tiberius is a very pricey coin, but a bronze coin of him simply isn't. Maybe I can also consider provincial coins. A silver coin of Nero minted in Rome is quite expensive, but a coin from Alexandria is not. Another point, how much can I give up on the condition of a coin so I'm able to afford a rare emperor? How about I eliminate unimportant or very rare emperors off the list? Here's an example. This is Emperor Quintillus. He's reigned for mere months. He was unimportant, but he was recognized by the Senate, so he should make the list. I'd rather use my money on more important emperors and coins I like more. So this coin will do just to fill the gap. I don't get the frustration of having a hole in my collection, while also being able to divert that money to an emperor I like more. Remember that this is a hobby, and it should bring you the joy of collecting coins without the pain of overspending and having to starve to get that last coin you want. Collect at your pace, at your wallet's capacity to take a beating, and remember, it is your little numismatic journey, so have fun.